everybody, welcome to Sons of the Forest. Today I'm going to teach you some really important tips and tricks on your experience here on what you're going to need to know before you jump into the forest, or if you're already playing and you have no idea, perhaps you want to learn some more. Well, hopefully this video will be helpful to you. When you crash land, you could crash land anywhere, whether this be in the forest or the snow. But something really important to know when you get your GPS out is you don't have to have it just stuck in this mode. If you press down middle mouse button, you can actually zoom in and out of your GPS. This is something the game does not tell you, so this will help you if you want to zoom in and out of the map, or if you're looking at guides or anything to reference. Then it's much nicer to check it this way than to be zoomed in all the time. And whilst we're looking at the actual GPS, one of the first things you want to do, if you can as possible, is go towards the purple markers. They're going to be very helpful. They have things like your very first pistol for you. They also have things like showing you where certain caves are, or the flashlight is actually one of them as well. They could be all over the map, but I highly suggest they're worth looking at and looking into, as well as the shiny green dots you see on your screen. They're going to lead to caves. One of these will be the 3D printer cave, so that's always worth having a look at. I believe the 3D printer cave is actually the one I'm pointing to now. If you go there, you should be able to go and get the 3D printer. The modern axe is actually an item you can get pretty early game, and it's quite near one of the purple zones. The modern axe is quite nice, it's going to help you out a lot. And if you do want to find it, it's at this camp here. Bear in mind, the seasons will make the place look a little bit different every time. But if you want a rough reference, you can see right here on the map where I am. I'm actually very close to one of the purple areas, and on this trail right here. So you should be able to find this camp, and pretty much it's against this bag, or in this, I know, I think it's right here actually. I just picked it up, but you can get yourself a very nice modern axe if you do come here. So if you want something a little better choppy, it's definitely the place to go. When you reach this point on your GPS, which is nearby the modern axe camp we just went to, there will be a guy hanging, but if you go up the top of there and use your knife to cut him down, he will drop down, and he will drop some nice stuff. He will drop a flashlight usually, and then you can also pick off the GPS and everything from him. And I'm about to show you a use of how you can use the GPS. Virginia is a friendly NPC. She is very wary at you at first, and she will often run away. But if you don't hurt her and you befriend her, she'll eventually get more friendly with you if you are not perceived as a threat. And you'll have the ability to be able to receive gifts from her, and you can also give her clothing. Right now she's actually showing me somewhere to go, so she can do many fascinating things. She can show you locations and all sorts. And let's just see where she's going to take me, actually, out of interest. So funny enough, Virginia's actually taken me to the place where the modern axe is, so if I hadn't found the modern axe yet, she would have helped me find it. So she's a very useful NPC. Now, again, if you befriend her to get close enough to her, you can actually help her out. You can give her clothing, so you could change her outfit, so she's wearing camo now. And one thing that you should absolutely know as well with Virginia is if you use your Q and R keys to toggle through the menu, you can actually give her weapons. And one thing you absolutely do want to use is a GPS locator, which you've received from doing those purple quests. And we got that guy, we got the flashlight, we found a GPS locator on him. You could use this to put on Virginia so you can find her whenever you like. So that is a really good thing to know when it comes to Virginia, and of course you could give her any outfit you like as well. Another quick extra as well, if your season changes to winter like mine, if you carry around a burning stick, it will keep you warm, so you won't have to constantly make campfires as long as you're carrying around a burning stick. This is just a stick with a bit of cloth on it, and I've set it on fire, so yep, very handy there. One thing that's good to know if you have pests like this coming after you is they can come in large groups, not just singular. So there can be quite a lot of them. Now, one thing I found really handy early game to take them out is definitely the crafted spear. It's very useful because you can pretty much stun lock them if you get them good. So they will come for you. If you chase after them, they'll run away. But if you use a spear, often or not, as long as you're aiming down, they literally cannot move, they cannot dodge. Whereas if you use other weapons like the axe, it can be a lot slower, meaning it's a lot harder to get rid of them. So it doesn't have any defense, so it's not good that way. But if you're dealing with just the small hungry ones, definitely use the spear. It doesn't cost that much to make either, and you can always actually hover over this little gear wheel when you add things to see what it requires. So my crafted spear only costs my knife, a bit of tape and a couple of sticks. You do this with anything, by the way, in this game. If you want to know what it does, hover over the gear wheel when you add stuff and you can see what it does and what you need to add to make certain things, and you can do this with anything. So it's very useful to know. Kelvin can be one of your greatest assets. It is worth using him as much as you like. Pretty much, you can make him follow you, take items. So like I was mentioning with the Virginia earlier, you can give him clothing that gives him different bonuses. You can also give him commands as well. He's very good for clearing spaces in a certain amount of meters, taking breaks, staying at his place, or building stuff. Like when I didn't know how to do a fire in the beginning, I made him build a fire, so that was really nice. He could also do shelter for you. So if you're confused and you don't really know what to do, or perhaps you don't have a shelter or any tarp for it or any sticks, use Kelvin. He will help you out. He will build it for you. You can also get him to collect fish if you really need food. You can get him to give you logs, rocks, sticks, and all sorts. He's definitely very good use and absolutely wonderful. So like now I'm going to go and make him go and get fish, and he's going to hopefully go and get some for me, which would be really nice. Even though this pond is very much frozen over, Kelvin's going to find a way to do some fishing for me, aren't you, Kelvin? Yep. So I can't fish in this pond, but Kelvin's going to give it a good old try for me, aren't you, Kelvin? And I think he might have got one. There you go. And because I told him to drop it there, he's going to drop it there. And if I just tap E once, I pick the fish up. If you hold E, you eat it. So if you just want to have things in your inventory, just tap E or whatever it is for your use key. If you're on console or controller. Here's another hot tip coming at you. If you come to this place on the map, once I've stopped freezing and shivering, there you go. You can see right there, you see the water structure and all that. You come here, there is this jeep, and a cave, and we want to go in the cave. Might look creepy, it's going to be absolutely fine. There's nothing to worry about in this cave. Kelvin's going to wait nicely outside. As you can see, because it's the winter time right now, if I go into the cave immediately, I am warm and toasty, so that is really nice. I'm actually going to use my flashlight here since I have found one, and that is an option. So, if you go into this rather creepy looking cave, you're going to find right at the bottom of it a hatch which you can actually go in. Let me get past all these loud things. You open the hatch, you can go down the ladder. Now, a lot of you have probably found this and you're like, yeah, whatever, you know, I found this already. But that's not what we're going over here today. I have found in single player, it seems, I don't know if it works in multiplayer, but if you reload your save at any time, things respawn like food. And the reason I've led you here is because the food respawns here. So if you're struggling for food, anything like that, you could come down here and get some fresh snacks if you reload your save. And all sorts. Even some ramen noodles. Lovely jubbly. So yeah, if you reload your save in this version of the game, you can go and get yourself a bunch of snacks. And the same logic applies anywhere. If you reload the save, it seems to respawn all sorts, like arrows and all sorts. So you can go to the 3D printer place and go and get a bunch of arrows and stuff like that. So it's really handy if you want to top up on some stuff and perhaps you don't have the stuff at all. So if you're in a pinch and you need the extra food items, you can get some lovely snacks here on the go, as long as you have reloaded your save. So enjoy those crunchy munchies. Another small tip is, I don't know if you've noticed, is sometimes when cannibals die, you get a skin pouch. Now, you can actually open these in your inventory to get goodies, and anything really could come out of these. So oysters I've got this time, meds and wire, So I'm going to have plenty of good stuff. I'm going to have lots of good eats from this. And lots of different things to come out the skin pouches. But it's worth noting they go right here. And you can go ahead and open them for some goodies. Anyways, I hope these have been some helpful tips for you. Remember to eat, drink and sleep, all those essential nice things. And stay safe away from those pesky cannibals. But anyway, this has been Kiahonfire. Hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel. And yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.